Hey everyone, it's Darren Keith here from DK Goalkeeping along with Michael Carstens, and today we're doing things slightly different. We're just going to be chatting, I'm going to be chatting to Mike about his journey in football, where it's taken him, where he's come from, and also more about what's brought him to this stage in his life to become a goalkeeper coach and give up playing, whatever level that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just going to have a slight chat to Mike and figure out who you are a bit and get everyone to get to know you a little bit. So Mike, thanks again for being here and for doing this.
Of course.
We're turning things around a bit.
Yeah, a bit of a turning tables type of thing.
But yeah, I think I don't actually even know where were you born?
I'm born and raised in Cape Town. Born in the 21st century. So
Which year?
2000.
2000. That
like
is, I'm 89, so that makes you. What am
Just
I?
go by the year.
Holy smokes. If I'm close to 90, you 2000, jeez, what? I'm 11 years older than you. Oh, that's crazy.
So born and raised in Cape Town. Only really actually got into football quite very late actually. I think I was around 11 when I got into football. Started with Coach Dylan, who's still one of my coaches up until 2023. So I've been with him for a very long time.
Where was that?
At Greenpoint.
So you started at Greenpoint.
So I started at Tableview, and then obviously still with Coach Dylan, going kind of wherever he went, ended up at Greenpoint. Yeah. So started at age 11, only decided to become goalkeeper at 13, and the reason that is because I just hate cardio. Everyone that knows me knows I just dislike cardio.
But yet you go running every day.
Yeah, it was more for like, David Goggins, you've got to do it. Doing things you don't like doing, getting out of your comfort zone type thing. So, decided to become keeper at 13. Wasn't the most athletic growing up at all, which is why I ended up kind of also going into personal training and becoming a coach, because I think all the influence, at least that my coaches had on me, was so big that it led me to becoming one myself. So I think the influence and the positive change that we can have as coaches is massive. I don't think we as coaches understand how big of a role we play in the kids' lives that we coach. And I mean, yes, it's only an hour a day, but they look forward to the next session after that 1 hour is finished. They go home and they think about the sessions and how it goes, and I'm just looking forward to the next one. So I mean, that was myself growing up. The coaches I talked to on a daily basis, they had the exact same influence or the same perspective on coaching and as a player and as a coach. So I really got into coaching at 16. I dislocated my knee for the nails. First time of three times that happened, it was not good, but also a reason why I stopped playing completely is because I got terribly aged knees. And that was when I was with Coach Dylan again at 16, became an assistant coach, then kind of branched off into goalkeeper coaching. And I hadn't known much. I mean, only been a keeper for 3 years, teaching someone that's only a year younger than I was kind of a challenge on its own, but I enjoyed it and I tried it because I knew if I didn't like it or if I failed at it, I would kind of learn. It's all part of the learning process. So and flip. That's kind of where it started with coaching. For the past 4 years, I've been coaching full time, and flip. I'm at Cape Town Spurs now, which is a nice experience. I'm with you, which I'm learning so much from, and flip. It's been a difficult journey in so many ways, but there's nothing more that I want to do than being amongst players and having that type of influence.
And obviously take it, working with different levels of players from youngsters. I know you do well with the younger kids, better than what I can deal with. I've got 2 kids of my own, so they're enough for me to deal with. But I think obviously ultimately, you want to grow. So you start to want to grow as a player, and when you go into coaching, you want to grow as a coach. So, we recently spoke to Mark. And Mark's starting with coaching now at an amateur level, but he wants to grow to become a professional level coach.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's the same with you. You want to grow your stature or grow your name as a coach and eventually go into the professional ranks. And yeah, Spurs is a pretty good step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
right?
100%. I mean, I feel like everyone that wants to do something at least, I mean, you and I are very much the same. If you want to do something, let's do it properly. So whether it be coaching, whether it be playing, obviously starting out as a coach, you've got to start at grassroots level and work your way all the way up the age groups to become into a more professional environment. I mean, the first time I started goalkeeper coaching properly for cash as like a proper job was Jaden.
Yeah.
And
he was 12.
He was 12, he was chubby, I mean, he didn't speak a word, he wasn't necessarily extroverted as he is now. And having to deal with, I mean, he was fine to deal with. He was probably a coach's dream to deal with. He was a blank canvas. He didn't really have any rebuttal when you made him do something. So it was perfect. But there are certain instances when you coach at grassroots level to deal with bigger personalities. Because I mean, you've got two kids of your own. They've got massive personalities as is. But to kind of channel that in a certain way to get the best out of them and to have them engaged and to stimulate them, it can be a challenge, but once you deal with the variety and let's say the spectrum of personalities, that you can kind of get an idea of what gets them ticking. You know? But yeah, ideally the goal is to get into a professional setup. I mean, I think I'm probably the youngest goalkeeper coach that I know at the setup like Spurs. I mean, I'm only 25 this year. I still feel I need to achieve more at my age, but I mean, I feel like that's everyone, everyone always wants to have more done at a certain time period in their lives.
But it takes time.
Yeah,
it takes time.
All good things take time. So I'm enjoying this. I really am enjoying this. I'm learning a lot from who I'm working with, who I'm networking with, and I can only really grow.
And like you're working with Frederick, who's the German goalkeeper coach, and he's someone that you'll have on the show very soon also.
I spoke to him last week,
which will be interesting. But I'm assuming you've already learned quite a bit from him because he's coached in the German ranks. He's coached in the German women's national team. He's coached, I think, with Mainz. Yeah. So someone like that's also a good person who you can get along with to learn new things, new different ways. I don't know if he's teaching you more about Oliver Kahn or more about Manuel Neuer, but
listen, I'll tell you one thing. I spoke to him in the interview that we had. I mentioned Jans Lehmann, and he looked at me. He's like, "Don't ever mention that name again." I was like, "What?" But Frederick is such a nice guy. He's willing to teach you so much, which in the football industry in SA it becomes so difficult to meet those people. I mean, coaches and players, they like gatekeeping. I mean, that's at least what I've experienced. I mean, when I tried to learn as an under 12 head coach, and I tried to learn from coaches from Spurs, they looked at me. Who's that other gent that was?
Oh, don't give away too many names.
No, I don't want to give names away, but he wasn't part of the what I want to talk about. But he was kind of trying to get me involved to learn from the coaches at Spurs, and then the Spurs coach, he's not there anymore, but he was kind of like, what are you doing? So, but I think it's a very it's terrible. We as South African coaches and players need to be able to share this knowledge because we at the end of the day are so far behind in terms of what the standard is at youth level in Europe and in Germany, Spain, Belgium. I mean, you understand, you've been in Belgium yourself. I mean, the standard that side and with the youth as well. You understand the level that they have that side. And we've got talented players. We've got so many talented players, but if we as coaches aren't going to share that knowledge and improve the quality of coaches, how can we then improve the quality of players?
And I think that's an important thing, is improving the quality of coaches. Because only then can you improve the quality of players.
100%.
And with that, actually, off the topic again, getting those CAF licenses make it more accessible to coaches in South Africa. Even perhaps the European ones. I know with the UEFA C, you have to go to Namibia. They don't offer it in South Africa. Getting things like that available in South Africa would be a massive step. But in terms of your playing, I know you played recently at Greenpoint. What were you? Was that 2 years ago?
2023.
Yeah,
so
and that ended abruptly, and that's when you went full time into coaching. But do you miss playing at all?
I had a session last night at Edgemead with Coach Mark asked me to come down, and with there being such a massive struggle in goalkeepers nationally, I mean they're also dealing with the shortage of goalkeepers themselves. And Mark didn't know how to play.
That's an amateur level.
Of course. But you've got to start at amateur level.
No, I'm saying even there's a problem at an amateur level.
It's such a massive issue. And again, going back to, I know obviously going off topic now, but going back to improving the quality of coaches, especially goalkeeper coaching. That's a story another day, but that also needs a lot of work. But going back to my playing days, I've recently played at Edgemead.
My wife's home, but it's fine. She can join the show.
I recently had a training session at Edgemead, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was nice being back with players and enjoying an environment. The banter back and forth, and being on the other side of coaching again, it was nice. It's so tough. I mean, I've dedicated so much of my time really to coaching, and I mean, I enjoyed my alone time, I enjoyed time with my family as well, so I mean that's also something I need to take into consideration, because if I take on coaching and playing, as I did in 2023, I mean, sure, I think I can count on my hand the amount of times I had to myself.
I just hear you might make a comeback, and that's what it sounds like you say.
Listen, I had to have a chat with the missus last night.
So was there an option? Did you trade a bit last night?
No, I did. I trained last night. So I took the session as a goalkeeper coach. And I was involved myself. And I realized, jeepers, what have I been doing to these kids? Because the sessions I said, I mean, it wasn't even a hectic session at all. But getting up and down, I mean, goalkeeper fitness is such a different level too. I mean, being on the floor, getting up again. That's why I mean, some people are going to call me silly, but I compare it oftentimes to rugby training in terms of having to be on the floor, having to get up again, and just being,
a lot of core strength involved.
Exactly. So I was, huffing and puffing with the first 2 rounds. I was like, jeepers. I put Jaden through 10 times the work that we did last night, and I'm terrible for doing that, but it's part of it. In a couple of weeks I'll probably, be at a lot higher level. I'm still very rusty. I think it's more my technique is fine. It's just decision making, when to come out, when to stay on my line. It's those game situations that I haven't been exposed to for the past 2 years that I kind of struggle with. And
it's a feeling. Being a goalkeeper it's a feeling. It's who you are. It's your own individual personality. It's about bringing that out of yourself and out of the others. But as a coach also, you have to be involved a bit to understand what's going on.
100%. So I'm still,
I
would love to come back. I am leaning more towards it.
If the knees allow.
If the knees, flipping. I'm thinking now. Already last night, I have to change my training regime. I have to do more strength training specifically for my knees.
Well, naturally, goalkeeper training brings a lot of strength because you use your arms a lot without realizing. You use your core so much more without realizing, and then your legs. So more, I think we tend to lean more towards like powerful movements than
more explosive.
More explosive, more agile.
Because I got into the car last night and I'm like, okay, my glutes are gone, hamstrings gone, quads gone. I'm like, and I haven't done anything too hectic. But it's such a nice feeling to be back on the pitch and just like train with the guys. It's such a nice environment at Edgemead. And I can definitely see myself playing and kind of competing, which would be nice. Because if you want to do something, do it properly. Just keep the intensity high.
And I think, like we spoke recently about your time at Greenpoint, that was a stressful time to play. The club was getting relegated, and the goalkeeper left and you were just thrown in and said, listen, you need to do the job, and it became stressful, whereas now maybe it will just be more enjoyment.
And that's also something I definitely had go through my mind.
At amateur level, it's tough out there. It's still tough out there, trust me.
I'm telling you, the talent at amateur level, if you've played at amateur level, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. But the talent there is crazy. A lot of times I have met talented, super talented players, but mentally it's like they'll only play when they want to play, you know. So that's what I think is a big difference between going professional and staying amateur. Is obviously that mindset, and it's even more emphasized with goalkeepers. But just to reflect on my time at Greenpoint, I mean, it was the first time I'd ever been in a relegation battle ever. From the start of when I started playing up until now, and it was such a stressful time for the club. And I felt such a connection to Greenpoint because my very first day there, the chairman looked at me, Keegan, and he said, "Welcome to the family." So I was like, that was already amazing. And I came to find out weeks later that he's actually like a second cousin of mine, which is insane. Because
I still find new second cousins of mine 35 years later.
So it's still a very small world, but Greenpoint holds a very special place in my heart. And playing for the reserve side up until I think the last 11 games of the season, 12 games of the season. Our first keeper got sent off. I had to come into an intense game, and after that he ended up leaving, like completely leaving the club. So I kind of got thrown into the deep end where it wasn't like I didn't really have a gradual start to integrate myself into the first side. I mean, we still trained together and everything, but to play in the level of intensity from reserve side to the first side is completely different. So that took a bit of adapting, but I think I was already kind of building my own momentum with the reserve side and enjoying playing my football again. So I just took it as is. I said, listen, I'm gonna try my best. I know it's gonna be challenging, but if I give my best and I try, there's nothing more I can kind of do. So there was tough games against Durbanville that we ended up winning both sides. I mean, the home game we won 1-0, away game we won 1-0. Kept a clean sheet in both. Ended up getting man of the match for both, which was nice. I don't know why, but I just always end up performing against Durbanville. It was quite nice. But there were a lot of tough games that we ended up losing 1-0, and I'm making 7-8 good saves, and it's like I still felt like I wasn't doing enough. So for me, it was frustrating.
That's how goalkeepers feel.
Exactly. So as a goalkeeper, as a player, as someone that understands kind of the coaching aspect that goes into everything, the planning and all that, it becomes, I take a lot of the blame myself, because obviously we always the ones that concede, but whatever goes on in front of us kind of gets swept under the mat, kind of, which normally happens. And that's led me to kind of step up and become more of a leader, I think, and holding everyone else accountable. That frustration turned into anger at times. Players not picking up their weight, and because I'm one that if I invest myself into something, into such an amazing club like Greenpoint, I didn't want to go down. It was for such an amazing club, such amazing people.
Well, you probably felt like you owed it to them also.
Exactly, I definitely did. And I had a chat with Coach Dylan. I said, listen, Coach, if we get relegated, I'm still going to be with the club because I'm going to feel like part of the blame. I've only played 11, 12 games of the season. But if we stay up, I'm done. I'm done playing, because I think being in that situation with Greenpoint, I didn't make it as enjoyable as what I thought it would be. And it took so much out of me that, even when I'm busy coaching, I'm thinking about Greenpoint, like what are we going to do in our sessions, how are we going to improve our goalkeeper sessions. It became a lot. And but also being in that goalkeeper union, as goalkeepers we have like a union where we train together, we kind of discuss certain topics together that we can relate to. And having been in that environment was such an amazing feeling. Now going back to Edgemead and having us 4 goalkeepers, myself, Jaden, Tim, and then I think his name's Kyle. Being together with keepers that enjoy training also makes me it's so nice. While I've been away from it for so long, So yeah,
No, it's
it really is,
exactly.
it does make it enjoyable for sure. Yeah.
No, but good. Talking about, actually, now that you mention it, talking about Greenpoint, Storm from
Yes.
Greenpoint. Apparently,
Storm is a character,
Storm's a character.
But is he from Greenpoint?
He's a
anymore?
Greenpoint legend. He posted something. I'm on Instagram because I want to actually bring up something on Instagram, but I can't find it. But he posted a pic of him holding a FC Kaapstad shirt. I don't know if he's joined FC Kaapstad.
He did, yes, he did.
So he has.
He has, yeah.
We'll have to find that pic and
I
put
think
it
he posted
up.
on his story, yeah.
Yeah. So Storm, congratulations for
Well
that.
done.
I know you watch sometimes. I know you follow us on Instagram. So
Yeah, you'll
congratulations.
definitely comment, yeah.
Storm, he's not. He hasn't trained with us all the time, but he's been to all of our
All our
camps.
camps,
So
No, big ups to you.
maybe in some way we've helped him.
Yeah,
So we'll take it.
we'll
We'll take
take
some
it.
credit for that.
the small wins,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then going back to some Instagram here, while I'm here, let's just bring this up. Our competition we're running to win some gloves. Don't forget about it. We're still going to announce the winner. But obviously, as you know, all the voting's been done.
Yeah.
Michael has announced that. I'm just looking now. Just want to say thank you to everyone for that.
Jeepers, guys,
It's
we had
been-
about 500 comments, over 500 comments, and it was
A lot of comments.
the video,
a lot of-
the videos you guys submitted.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you so much. It's pure. They were actually spectacular saves,
Some awesome saves.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to find it here. Can't find it. We've had.
Oh no, I've had to archive it because.
Okay, I see. All right.
Yeah.
No, but it's fine. Yeah. So as Michael said, we had tons of comments, which is great. Some of you did, however, comment 20 times from the same
It
name
only counts.
on the same number, but
Yeah.
it only counts for one. So we will count that as one. But we will get back to you very shortly with an update on the winner. And whoever you are, we hope you enjoy the gloves and whatever
So
may
we
come
will.
with the gloves. And we'll see you back on the next one soon. So again, thanks very much for everything, Michael.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
I know you
man.
didn't even know what we were going to talk about, neither did I.
No,
but
but it
I
was fun.
thought-
It's nice, yeah.
It's nice for everyone to get to know you a bit.
Yeah.
We're up to 18 subscribers now.
Come on, guys.
18
come on.
subscribers, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share everything around. We're on Instagram. We everywhere.
TikTok,
TikTok, Facebook.
Guys, go like, follow, do what
Yeah.
you can.
Do all those social media things.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, no. Get
Uh,
involved, get engaged, and
Yeah, and if you have any questions or any comments, any topics you want us to talk about, let us
Yeah.
know below, and we'll catch you back for the next one.
yeah.
Cheers.